June 4th, 1942. The sun rises over the Pacific near Midway Atoll, the largest naval battle.
The Japanese admiral's combined fleet approaches with 4 aircraft carriers and over 160 ships. Ready. But today, something impossible cuts through the waves toward Midway Atoll. Instead of 4 aircraft carriers bristling with veterans.
Meet the JS Maya, a Japanese maritime self-defense force Aegis destroyer from 2025.
So could one modern Japanese destroyer change the course of World War II? Or would it be overwhelmed by the massive American fleet? The JS Maya is a 10,000 tons of pure technological dominance, armed with weapons that can delete entire air wings from.
Its SPY-1D radar can track hundreds of targets simultaneously, while its Aegis combat system processes threats faster than human thought.
We're talking about 90 vertical launch cells packed with SM-2 and SM-6 surface-to-air missiles that. And perhaps most terrifyingly, this destroyer moves at 30 knots while making less noise than a fishing boat. In Bangor, a Maya-class Aegis destroyer costs roughly $1.5 to $1.6 billion. At 6 a.m., the first American reconnaissance flights lift off from Enterprise and Hornet. They're searching for the Japanese fleet. Flying print. What they don't expect is a single contact 200 miles northwest of their position, moving at impossible speed with no visible escorts. The ship's combat system identifies them as SBD Dauntless dive bombers and TBF Avenger torpedo planes. The destroyer's crew faces an impossible decision: engage and reveal their position, or maintain stealth and let SM-6 missiles streak skyward at Mach 3.5. Their guidance systems locked onto targets that have no. The first Dauntless simply vanishes in a fireball. Then, another. The remaining scouts break formation, diving for. Back on Enterprise, the Admiral receives fragmentary reports of aircraft disappearing without explanation. Some pilots report explosions in clear sky. The reports sound like combat fatigue or equipment failure, but when exactly 0 of the missing scouts return to their carriers, the American response is massive and immediate. Every available aircraft launches from Enterprise, Hornet, and they're flying into the most advanced anti-aircraft system ever deployed, but they have no way of knowing it. The JS Maya's radar. The ship unleashes technological hell. SM-2 and SM-6 missiles launch in rapid succession. But the Maya destroyer has a problem. It carries 90 missiles total, and after destroying most of the American airstrike, its magazines run dangerously low. Critically, the ship is fighting in 1942 without GPS satellites to guide its weapons or data links to coordinate with non-existent allies. The American fleet adapts with a deadly creativity that eventually won them the war. Some planes get through, dropping bombs and torpedoes that splash harmlessly around the Japanese ship's armored hull. The Japanese destroyer responds by going on the offensive. Its Type 90 anti-ship missiles don't need direct line of sight. They can fly 100 miles. The ship launches a salvo toward the American carrier's last known positions. Enterprise's lookouts spot what appears too late. The missile's 500-pound warhead detonates against the carrier's flight deck, punching through steel plating and igniting aviation fuel stores. Within minutes, the ship that launched the Doolittle raid is fighting for survival. Hornet suffers similar damage. Each hit is devastating and precise. American damage control parties work frantically, but they're fighting fires caused by weapons that shouldn't exist. Japanese naval headquarters receives fragmentary reports that make no sense. References to a lone destroyer engaging American carriers successfully.
But questions remain. Could the destroyer's limited ammunition truly defeat such overwhelming numbers?
Would American submarines eventually locate and sink the Phantom vessel? Answers depend on factors we can only speculate about. Technology gaps, tactical adaptation, and the fog of war all play crucial roles.
The sheer impossibility of the event defies every known naval doctrine. A void of understanding settles over the Pacific. The balance of power in the Pacific shifts irrevocably. The course of the entire war has been altered.
For Japan, this impossible victory creates a new reality. How do they explain this ghost ship? And more importantly,
America must now accelerate its own technological development. A desperate race begins to understand and counter a threat from a future they cannot yet grasp.
the psychological toll on the surviving American servicemen is immense. They witnessed an unforgettable. The Battle of Midway, once a turning point for American victory, now stands as the singular event that forever rewrites the timeline of World War II.
With America's Pacific Fleet crippled, the war itself takes a new, longer trajectory. The global balance of power shifts, with consequences far beyond Midway.
With the past changed, the future becomes a blank slate, filled with unforeseen possibilities. Echoes of the Maya persist, a ghost in the machine of history.
A single ripple in time can lead to monumental, unexpected changes.
But even against overwhelming odds, the human spirit, with its ingenuity and resilience, will always find a way. This was just one what-if scenario, designed to spark your imagination.
What other possibilities lie hidden in the sands of time?